Da geht's hier links.
Sounds painful.
That one I know.
So that's the former horse stable. Today we use that room to show up some instruments of law and order of the Middle Age. When the Lord had the right to punish his people, not all of them had that right. He didn't do that for smaller crimes. For example, if somebody had stolen a chicken, he was not being punished, he was being educated, being blamed. And so he was bound on a big stone like you see one here. You call it a pillory. Nice ones up to 5 meters. And then he was shown for the public on an open marketplace. Everybody could see him, could laugh about him, could throw rotten vegetable on him. And then he was somehow being blamed, so he got a shame mask, as you can see some of them here, over his head. This one, with the long ears, for persons who did hear too much. That means who spread out rumors, saying bad things on neighbors, good friends. Person speaking too much, they got insight into the mouth, an iron ball, which spread out, and they could speak at least the next hours, not any longer. This one, we call in German ein Saukopf, a pig's head. It opens here, was done round the head. With a big nose, a big ball this direction, so he was falling down on his hands, on his knees. He was going through the mud, and so he was shown through the total city. And as we Germans call it a Saukopf, so we are saying up today, if I'm having a big fight with another person, I say to him in my best German, ich mach dich zur Sau. I make you to a pig. In German, it sounds somewhat better, it's a word of the Middle Age. But again, gentlemen, you use here a word of the Middle Age. What are you saying? Good old American English. You are getting pig-headed. The word of the Middle Age, which you use up to date.
Okay.
That collar was turned round the neck, hands inside, that bank, hands, feet inside, shown for the public on the marketplace. That means pillory instruments too. For transportation of prisoners, they used very effective instruments. All of them use the same name. Today, the police has this part only made out of iron handcuffs, but those are not so effective like those have been. You call all of them, due to that fact that you did it round the neck, here's the hands inside. You call them Halsgeigen, then they got here a lock, and as you notice, nobody could escape any longer. And now it's becoming somewhat more cool. For capital crimes, murder and so on, people have been punished with their lives. Therefore we call this the blood justice. An impalement like this had been done, for example, with criminals who did something wrong to kids. For another crime, an impalement with a big sword from the back, being burned, hanged, bound on wood, and with a big wheel, as you see it here, the bones had been broken. Such a criminal could be sentenced to death only if he confessed what he has done. Normally, he didn't do that voluntarily. And due to that fact, they created what you see here, the so-called torture. But have in mind not to torture them. Their background is they should confess, and they should regret. And so they did the torture in different steps. That means a criminal like those ones had been shown for the first time, as well as you see it here. Seeing all those instruments, most of them confessed all crimes. Even crimes they didn't do, because they didn't like being handled like those ones. Those didn't confess, so he was fixed on a rack fixed with a net, big rope on the feet. You turn somewhat here, and you can imagine what happened. Next step. Doing in liquids that the body was coming up, everything inside torn into pieces. Or stretching from the ceiling, an instrument you see here, with big stones, here are some on the feet. Today, when you are going to a special doctor, you pay a lot of money. Or you will sit down in an iron ox, a fire under it, flames are coming outside. That means inside was some burning oil. The top of that time, that was later on the so-called Inquisition. The Inquisition was going all over Europe, South America, a time when especially ladies had been accused as witches. Being guilty, such a lady had been burned in an open stake. Everybody could see her. But those ladies had been very often so-called wise ladies. That means they did the job of a modern medical doctor of today. Outside in the garden you have seen plants for your health. With those plants, some of them did an outstanding job. People didn't believe it, told them witches, burned them. And if such an accused lady had red hairs, she had no chance. Because the color red, that's the color of the blood, the color of a devil. So she was being believed a companion of a devil. She was burned at the moment. And now let's go outside. Let's do a turn to the left, going back the rider stairway. And at the end, into the blacksmith shop. Left and straight down to the coat of arms. So that's a blacksmith shop as we had, let's say, up to 60 years ago in our small villages. In such a shop never had been manufactured armament, harness as you have seen just before. Because in a fortification like this had been living in peace not more than 2 up to 3 nights. And therefore a weaponsmith living here, he would have been a poor guy. Those had been living as artists in the big cities. Augsburg, for example, has been a very famous weaponsmith city during the Middle Age. Here only small items have been manufactured, for example a plow, or tools being made, horses being horseshoed, and horseshoes made. And now remember what I have told you on the combat horses, the knights, Shire horses, very big feet. Here you see such a horseshoe. And as iron breaks very easily because inside is sulfur. It's not very nice going into a fight and your sword is breaking into pieces. You don't like that. And due to that fact, you have to harden it. And therefore we are cooking steel today. But that's a chemical process which not a lot of smiths during the Middle Age did know. So most of them did it like you ladies. When you boil an egg at home, you do it afterwards into cold water, which hardens the outside. The same did the smith with the iron, which was coming out of the fireplace. He hammered it on the anvil, dove it into cold water, returned it back into the fire, repeated that process very often, and at the end into a bath with boiling oil. All that will harden somewhat the iron that it cannot break so easily. So, ladies and gentlemen, this had been a tour through the Middle Age. In no other castle you can see so well as here, as people had been living at that time, going to war, and speaking law and order. And you can see that only due to the fact that this castle had never been destroyed. I hope that you have enjoyed somewhat this tour, and if you have any questions, and if I can answer it, please do it now. But no question on the chastity belt. Okay, then I thank you very much for your attention. I wish you a nice day, and then let's go outside. This way, please.
How did this survive World War II?
It's cultural. We have a worldwide, not worldwide, regulations.
In fact, that was more common use.